Alright, I got some cleaning done. Didn't harm the paint. The paint was already crap when I put it in, and it isn't any worse, so I don't think it is. And didn't harm the rubber stuff. Didn't clean it as good as I'd hoped, but at least it didn't make it any worse. So, well, I guess they're pretty clean. I mean, they still got a little of that aluminum oxide still on there, but oh well, that's not going to hurt anything. Finally got this little collar off of this bearing spacer, I think is what it's called. So it's got some rust going on inside there, so I think I'm going to soak that briefly in deruster, clean this up, and plate it. And this guy, yeah, I kind of messed him up a little bit, and he's got some rust going on, so I'm going to hammer that flat again, derust that. Yeah, I think these are plated already, so I'm basically just going to clean them up and replate them. Let's see, these guys came out good. The Zerk fitting actually came out really good. It's in perfect shape, so I'm going to reuse that. The nuts are fine, nothing wrong with them. This guy is a little bit worn and he's got some rust going on, so I'm going to clean him up and replate him. And then this guy, I'm curious. At first I thought maybe an O-ring goes in here. O-rings are not showing up on any of the blow-up diagrams for the alloy wheel. Yeah, this guy came out good. So, and then this fellow came out pretty good. It didn't come out degreased. There's still a bunch of grease build up in the corners. I gotta decide. This was originally painted. I gotta decide if I'm gonna repaint it or just put it back as it is. If I can't degrease it, I can't, and there's no point in trying to paint it because the paint will just fall off again. Oh, I've ordered a kit that comes with 4 bearings and an oil seal. So these guys will be replaced. I don't need 4 bearings, I only need 3, but for some reason, every kit on eBay comes with 4, and some of them even come with 2 oil seals, even though I only need 1. So I don't know, I think it's like a universal kit. But, you know, it was 18 bucks, so, you know, why not? Well, I got my bearing and oil seal set, grease seal. So let's see what we got here. Oh. Yep, that looks about right. That looks about right. So this bearing is sealed on both sides. Okay. These 2 bearings that came out together are open on one side. So makes me wonder, should I pull the seals off of one side of each of 2 of those and stick them together, or just leave them? I don't know. I will probably have an answer from the forum before I publish this video. So another thing I'm curious about is this aluminum guy. See, he's got all these holes only 2 of them go all the way through. Hey, check this out. I figured out a way to make the tire hold still. And hopefully I can clean out this. I don't know. Did I show you? I got the friction material off of the brake drum. So the pads, I guess. I mean, you have brake pads, brake shoes, but the pads usually mean like disc. Anyway, the friction material was stuck on here, and the shoes, the aluminum shoes, came right out. Well, after a lot of prying, if you watched my, I don't know, second video, first, second, third video. What are we up to now? Like 25? Anyway, so I'm going to try and clean this out and polish it up with hopefully without making it go out of round. I'm not going to use anything drastic, but for now we'll see what happens with a little wire wheel, huh? Okay, well, I'm going to do that for probably the next 20 hours or so, and come back when something interesting happens. Well, I went ahead and cleaned this side up a bit. It's nowhere near, you know, good enough to paint or anything, but at least it's clean enough that I can see everything. Well, there is to see, but yeah, I think it's this notch up here that those little clips, half circle clips go into, and this roundish notch, I don't know what that's for. If it's for anything. Probably just there for decoration, right? Yeah. Anyway, I also got this all wire wheeled, or wire dremelled, or wire wheeled, I guess. And yeah, it's going to need a lot more, but it's a start. All the loose rust and friction material and such is gone. Well, it's been several days, many days, but I finally got the brake drum smooth, and I also put the whole thing in my parts washer, which isn't big enough for the tire, so I made a huge mess. But the wheel, anyway, so the wheel is a lot cleaner now. I looked around for drum turning, drum truing services for motorcycles. I can't find any local. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm just looking wrong or what. My thought was I would do this by hand, which I did, as best I could, and if I found that it was out of round enough to notice on the bike, I could always take the wheel in and get it turned, but I I don't know if I can do that. So hopefully this will be good enough. There's a little bit of pitting, but you can't feel it. You can see it, but you can't feel it. It's not deep enough. Anyway, and I got, oh man, this doesn't seem all that heavy at first, but once you slung it around a few dozen times, you start getting sore. Man, that was a lot of work. But I got it done. I also got some answers from the folks on the forum. So apparently there should be an O-ring that sits right at the bottom here. I wouldn't have even guessed that, but yeah, there's supposed to be an O-ring at the bottom there, and then the two little half circle keepers, whatever they're called. Apparently, there's supposed to be an O-ring right above them. But this channel here is not for an O-ring. I guess it's just there to hold extra grease or something. I don't know, but apparently there's stuff on like the 78s and 79s that they didn't bother to put on the 80s for some reason. Maybe that's why this stuff is all rusted up. But apparently the wheel is the exact same wheel. They just decided to put fewer parts on it. So I'm going to go ahead and order those 3 O-rings. They're not expensive. And I'm going to look into some of the other stuff that I've seen the other wheels have that my wheel doesn't have, and see if I can get hold of them